So I actually recently have been on a kind of I have the hot take that like Future is like the GOAT of trap music, and I definitely feel like some people would agree with me, but I also feel like others wouldn't, and others could throw in other competitors. Um, Now obviously Future isn't really even my favorite rapper. He's definitely up there. He's my top five, but he's not number one. He is number four, probably because I think Thug is better than Future. And you know, I feel like there's so much that I can unpack with why Future is just he's just the goat of trap music, and it's it should be undeniable almost if you look at the accolades and you just look at the sheer quality of his music. You know, a lot of music is subjective, so a lot of the stuff I feel like I say on here, other people might look at differently, which is perfectly understandable. I can understand you maybe not thinking of Future this way. Heck, the only thing I can't understand is if you just plain out don't like him. I don't know why you wouldn't like Future. It doesn't really make sense, but if you don't, you don't. First of all, the longevity. Future has been around for a long time, which is crazy because he's honestly been around longer than I thought he was around. Back before I was like really into music, I thought Future like started to pop off around 20 like 17. He's been around since before that. Monster came out in, I'm pretty sure, was it 2014 when Monster came out? DS2, I think, came out in 2015, didn't it? I might be a year early on those times, but I'm pretty sure they came out then. And he's been popular. Um, I feel like he's also peaked many times throughout this really long career, and I think he's in the middle of another one because if you look at the like his most recent run, I personally would include High Off Life because I love that album. However, I feel like what most people would consider it is I Never Liked You, We Don't Trust You, and We Still Don't Trust You is a humongous 3 album run right now. And it's crazy because Future's almost 40. I don't know if y'all. I'm pretty sure Future is approaching the 40 age. I'm pretty sure he's closer to 40 than he is 30. I could be wrong, and he could be closer to 30. But if anything, that's still old. I look at him as like the LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still doing this, and he's almost 40. You know, I feel like there is a hole you could go down. Let's look at Drake for example. I'm not even talking about the allegations. That's not what I'm talking about. The kind of music Drake makes, I feel like he shouldn't necessarily be making at his age. And I know that might sound stupid, but you can't tell me some of the things he says is just like, Drake, why do you think that? That's such a weird way of thinking to like say other stuff in your other songs and to be over 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? Or mainly your woman bars. Why do you talk about like a 25-year-old and you over 40? You know? Like there should be the obvious like line in maturity there. There's obviously going to be a difference there. There's obviously going to be just there's a lot of problems, and I feel like in Drake's music you can tell like he almost rapping like he wants a daughter more than he wants a girlfriend or a wife. But Future, I feel like it's kind of different. He just wants to be with somebody. I seen a perfect definition of it. He's trauma dumping. I feel like a lot of Future's music is trauma dumping. Coding Crazy, for example, trauma dumping. But he's trauma dumping about the fact that literally all he wants is to be able to be with one woman, is to love just one woman, to not feel the need to be satisfied by other ones. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, and he knows like 90% of his relationships are mostly his fault, and he knows that. It's almost sad to hear, but this whole time he has to let you know he's dripped out during this trauma dumping. I love that. That was so funny. But he's also, this is kind of just a random little stat. He's the most followed rapper on SoundCloud. I feel like that's a pretty big thing that a lot of people don't realize. SoundCloud's huge. SoundCloud is like mainly for rap music. I feel like mainly for hip hop / R&B music. Oh my god, my nose, man, it's been stopped up where the weather's been like going from cold like to warm. It's screwing me. But anyway, so I know I sound funny in this video. But yeah, he's the most followed rapper on SoundCloud. And something interesting that 21 Savage said in an interview is that like Future in the streets is more known than Jay-Z. I think Future has even said that himself. I think. Which honestly, obviously I'm not on the streets. I don't know where my voice went, but I'm not on the streets. I can't speak for street people. I can't speak for them. However, I feel like it would make more sense because Future's music immediately becomes 5 times more relatable to you. And relatability and feeling like he's almost rapping about you is a big thing in music, is a big part of why you might like a rapper. That is why I love Bryson Tiller, because I feel like some of his songs were made specifically for me. Huge Bryson Tiller fan because of that. Chris Brown sometimes is doing that same thing. You know? So that makes sense to me. And also because 21 was like, yeah, I mean, I'd never went and bought a Future album. I heard it on a burnt CD. So there's no telling. Obviously that applies to Jay-Z too. I'm not saying just because it's going on with Future doesn't mean it doesn't apply to a million other rappers. But, you know, that's something to think about. You know, how big would them album sales really be if you got all them burned CDs? You know, if you counted all of that. His last 11 albums have went #1 on Billboard. That is an insane stat. I feel like he has the longest streak out of any rapper now, because I know it was Eminem, but he lost that whenever his Music to Be Murdered By Side B, I think, only went #2 and it didn't go #1. I could be wrong and there might be another rapper with a slightly longer one, but after Eminem is gone, I think it might just be Future, because 11 albums? I can't think of another rapper that would have had 11 albums in a row. The only one that I can think of is Kanye. And the only reason I'm kind of timid on that is I don't know how many albums Jesus is King sold. I don't know if that went #1 or not. I don't think it did. But even if it did, Vultures 2 is about to debut at #2 because it only sold like 70,000, which is actually shocking. But I was surprised to see that number. But, you know, drop a finished product next time. His level of toxicity, I feel like, is iconic. Oh, real quick, before I get into that, he's one of two. There are 2 rappers, alright, Drake being the other one, that have had multiple albums go #1 with a #1 song on the Hot 100 at the same time. He has done that with I Never Liked You and Wait For You. He has done that with, Like That and We Don't Trust You. He's also, I don't know if I have it wrote in my notes, he has a diamond song. He has a certified diamond song, which obviously that's not that many rappers got that. You know what I'm saying? That's a rare thing. That's that's not common. But back to the toxicity being iconic, I feel like to be famous and to be as big of a rapper as Future is, you almost have to have characteristics to your music and characteristics to your personality and your image. That sounds like no duh, but you would be like, I feel like certain rappers don't realize that, and they're kind of just the same people. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Durk and Moneybagg Yo, image wise, what is something really unique? Not even really unique, but like really, whenever you think Lil Durk, what exactly do you think about? O Block? That was King Von's thing. I mean, Lil Durk could still be that, but you don't immediately, like, you look at Future and you're immediately like, yeah, he's toxic. You know what I'm saying? I might be explaining that poorly, but you should know what I'm getting at. Like, what I'm trying to say. Future's toxicity is at a level so high, like songs like My Collection or Solo has toxic elements to it. Or, what's that song off of Like That? Like That? Do y'all hear the Like That hook and verse? Oh my god. You know? 7:12 p.m. has a lot of toxic vibes. Misogyny does. What's another one? There's a lot on my head. They're all coming to me at once. Throwaway, Coding Crazy. Literally, the whole Monster album is a toxic like fest. It's a freaking mosh pit of toxicity, and that has become a thing where people literally base their personalities off of this man. You know what I'm saying? And that also has to tie into the whole, like, it sounds so stupid, but his aura. I don't like using that term to like real life famous people. I just don't. I mean, I think of aura as more of like a funny word. I try to avoid it as a characteristic to people. But Future's people want to be that. You know what I'm saying? Because of what they think it comes with. You know, I mean, Future, when he's trauma dumping, I'm sure the amount of money he's got, enough money can give you a little bit of happiness. Not enough to be satisfied with everything, but I do think that to some extent money can make you happy, because I mean, Future ain't got too many worries. Obviously, he's got child support and trying to find a actual wife. Which, fun fact, did y'all know at one point this man was gonna get engaged? Did y'all know that? He was engaged, going to be married soon. Future was going to be a husband. We were going to be talking to a Mr. Future. Or, there was going to be a Mrs. Future. That's crazy to me. That's a crazy thing that he's had. But anyway, and like, because people want to be that, that leads to him being more successful. Obviously, people want to be Jay-Z. Like, he's dating Beyonce. Or not dating. Jesus, I made that sound so childlike. There, he's freaking married. He has a kid with Beyonce. Who doesn't want to do that? But, and I mean, he's a billionaire. He's like the first rapping billionaire. Which, obviously, people want to be that. But Future is just such... I don't want to say mysterious, because Future's definitely not mysterious, but he's like, for I Never Liked You. The only Instagram post he shared, I think there was like 2 or 3 of them, like the album announcement, and then the day that album dropped, I know what I was doing. I was at school, and my aunt texted, like, retweeted it to me. Not retweeted it. She sent it to me on Instagram and was like, oh my god, the toxicity. He had napkins under his glasses, and he said the caption was trying to find the good in her. Like, whoa, holy crap, but it was crazy. It was hard. I listened to the album again right after that. I'd already heard it, and I thought it was amazing. I love I Never Liked You. It grows on me a little bit, like, every time I listen to songs from it. But that type of image people want to be. People want to be that rapper. People want to be Future. You know, they want to be looked at in the same light. Y'all know that picture? Y'all want to know? I've never been in a strip club. Let me go ahead and say that. However, I'd be seeing people joke about how other people have sunglasses on in the club. You want to know why they do that? Because of that picture of Future with sunglasses in the club. And they think that's hard, and they think they want to be that. You know? They want to be that. He's also, this goes without question, Future has amazing lyrics, amazing bars, amazing vocals. I think Future is a great vocalist. I feel like a lot of people kind of underestimate that. You know, it might not, like, I feel like, if you know, take away the beat from it, it might sound a little crazy. And sometimes, the beat gives heavy assistance with his vocals. You know, that high-pitched voice he tries to do. It sounds a little crazy sometimes. But other times, some of the stuff he does with his voice, it's crazy that it sounds good. Mile High Memories is so crazy. Because, like, the way he deepens and, like, stretches his voice almost sounds fantastic. I love it. I love that song so much. It's probably a top 5 Future song for me. It's probably tied with Throwaway, because they're like the same song but with, like, different, But fantastic song, and a lot of that has to do with his vocals and the notes that he's hitting. I think that's fantastic. And that kind of bleeds into this. He's very versatile. You know what I'm saying? You can throw Future on anything, and he can make it work. You know? He's so unique. Oh, speaking of vocals, King's what's it called? King's Dead. I think that's the song Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, and Future. Is it King's Dead? I think that's the name of the song. La di da di da. Slop on me knob. That's, I did not even do close to what he does, but I mean, I kind of did. But like, that's crazy, and he makes it sound good. That's the best part of the song. That's why that song was so popular, because he did that. There's no real controversy when you look at him, unless you count all of his baby mamas as controversy, quote unquote controversy. But if anything, that feeds more into that image and that feeds more into that toxicity that other people want to be. You know what I'm saying? That other people think is okay to model themselves after. You know, I personally don't, because to me that type of life would seem meaningless. But, you know, that's bleeds into that, if anything. I can't think of a Future controversy. He's definitely never groomed kids. He's never beat anybody. I mean, obviously, if you look hard enough, everybody has something. It's when the context comes into play, when it differentiates people. That, I know it's not a word, but I use it like every video. Differentiate, it might be a word, I don't know. I love how in this note right here I put his aura has a lot to do with it. Already talked about the Diamond single, and he's everywhere. Yo, Future is not a rare feature on another rap album. This dude does not leave the studio. I think I read, I'm gonna ball up my notes. I think I read somewhere, or like he said in an interview, that he literally goes to the studio every single day. Like, there is no day where he's not in the studio less than like a few hours, which is nice, you know. And he's probably got an at-home studio, so like that's what I would do. I would literally never leave the house if I was as famous as one of these guys. But he has that at-home studio. He never has to leave his crib. Probably he can just stay in his house and make music. And to honestly, that seems to me all he wants to do is just sit, have kids, and freaking make music. I mean, that's just what I look at Future as. With that, obviously, with the toxicity and with other character traits too, but when it comes to like the music making process, like this guy gives just be giving features out. I swear to God, Future is everywhere. He is always on somebody's album, always on somebody's single. Like, it's crazy. I feel like every other album I listen to, hip hop wise, has a Future feature. A lot of them. Especially rappers that are like on the verge of blowing up, immediately Future. Which, I mean, I don't blame them. I'm not mad at it at all. If I got famous, one of the first rappers I'd want to collaborate with is Future. You know? Like, that's obvious. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Future's the trap goat, guys. Y'all can disagree. If y'all have another one, please talk to me about it. But I don't think you can beat Future resume. I don't think you can at all.